All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great Mills who rule well. Peace, blessing, salutations to those who elected is out there pushing, laboring, believing, listening on to this truth with heart sincerity. All right, may the blessing election be upon your houses. All right, the topic of this lesson is going to be, all right, on the importance of faith. All right, it is an important thing to have faith, and faith is a very valuable and precious thing to have, especially in these times that we are coming into. All right, the times of martial law, the times of Jacob's trouble, the times of World War III, the times of all hell breaking loose in the streets of Babylon, America. When shit hits the fan, right, we're gonna need faith, man. All right, because the way this devil's gonna come down, all right, we're gonna need to have trust and faith in Yahweh Shem Shai to deliver us, to protect us, to sustain us, all right, in these times that we are coming into, man. All right, and not even only in those times, but even also now, all right, throughout our day-to-day walks, man. All right, but let's just jump straight into it. This is what faith is right here. This is Hebrews, the 11th chapter, verse 1. It reads, "Now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." All right. Even though we haven't seen, Yahweh Shai with our eyes in the flesh, we believe that Yahweh Shai is real, right? Even though we haven't seen the kingdom manifest before us, all right, we believe and have faith that the kingdom is coming and that the kingdom is real. All right, and have faith in everything that is written in the scriptures is true. All right, even though you can't see the brain in your head, doesn't mean it's not there. All right, even though you can't see your heart that's inside your body pumping, all right, doesn't mean it's not there. Right? We have faith that we have a heart in our body and a brain in our heads, man. All right. So, faith is a very crucial and important thing to have. And also, if you feel like your faith is low or you're lacking in faith, pray to Yahweh Shema Shah to increase you in that, man. All right, to give you faith boosters. There's a lot of things. Speaking on myself at first and foremost, that's faith boosters, man. Seeing the chariots, man. Seeing the chariots, Yahweh Shema Shah, that's a faith booster right there, man. All right. But nevertheless, I got a couple accounts here, of faith. A couple examples of faith. This is Daniel the 6th chapter. I'm gonna start at verse. Let's start at verse 15. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established it may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy power whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den. And the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living power, is thy power whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel to the king, O king, live forever. My power hath sent his angel, and hath shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. All right, so Daniel was put into the den of lions, man. All right, he was put into the den of lions, and this is really a test of faith right there, man. You know, he had faith to know that, you know, he hasn't done anything wrong. Have faith to know that, you know, Yahweh Shema Shah was going to protect him and sustain him, man. All right. You know, and these times we coming into, man, hey, you know, some are going to have to get put to death, man. You know, some are going to get put into those guillotines, you know, for the Lord's sake, man. All right. You know, but the first day are going to be the first risen. All right. But that right there is going to be, you know, faith right there, man. You know, all right. Our faith is going to truly be tested in those times, you know, if, you know, that is our lot to, you know, to die for the ministry's sake, man. All right. You know, but again, you know, this was showing how much faith that Daniel had, man. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't worried. He was cool, calm, and collected, and had trust and faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. All right. So I'm gonna get this next account here. This is in the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter, verse 14. It reads, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and declumer, Salaki, if I mispronounced that, and all kinds of music, ye fell down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. All right. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. All right. Hey, right there showing you, hey, you know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, hey, they had faith. All right, and they were not gonna bow that knee unto those, you know, those false gods of Nebuchadnezzar, man. All right, they had faith. They say, hey, you know, if it is, you know, the will of Yahweh Shema Shah for us to perish in that fire, then so be it. But if not, then we're not, man. But it's, and either way, we're not gonna worship, you know, these false idol gods, man. All right, you know, that takes a lot of faith to be able to stand in the face of the king and say something like that, man. You gotta think about it, you know, mind you, in the time that they were in, man. You know, this is the king, man. You know, knowing that, you know, the judgment that the king would try to pass on them, man. But they still kept the faith, man. They still stayed faithful, man. They didn't fold. They didn't crumble. All right, they didn't, you know, bow that knee, man. All right, and then these times we're coming into, our faith is going to be tested, man. All right, you know. In the hour of temptation, man, they're going to try to, you know, hit you with that charagma, you know. They're going to try to, you know, either, you know, get you to, you know, sell out on some bros, all right? You know, our faith is going to be tested in many ways, man. All right, that's why we got to make sure we are, you know, well-rooted in this truth, in this ministry, you know, and make sure our faith is on point, man. All right, because it will be tested, man. All right. And let's continue on. Let me see. In verse 19, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. All right, so Nebuchadnezzar had them, you know, crank that fire up, you know, I believe it was 7 times. Let me look. That's a lot, yeah. Yep, 7 times hotter than it usually is, man. All right, so he was mad. He was furious, man. He was like, man, let's crank this fire up and make it hotter than we usually have the furnace, man. And bind them up and put Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But guess what? They weren't worried. They still kept the faith, man. All right? They still have faith, man. And let's go verse 24. Did Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished. Oh, Salakia. I think I skipped one. Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flames of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? That they answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads sign, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Right? So they got put into that fiery furnace, and what happened? They came out of that furnace unscathed. All right? They didn't even have the smell of being burnt on them, man. The smell of fire, smell of anything on them, man. All right? You know? They have faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. They stayed faithful all the way until the end. All right? All the way into the end. They didn't fold in the sight of adversity. They didn't fold at the king threatening to put them to death if they didn't, bow their knee and worship their idol God. They said, man, we're going to be faithful all the way into the end. And the Lord delivered them, man. All right? So when we look at accounts like Daniel in the lion's den, when we look at the accounts of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all right, in the fiery furnace, man, these accounts show us, all right, the importance of having faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, and also the power of having faith in Yahweh Shema Shai and being faithful all the way into the end, man. All right, not folding, man, standing firm in what we believe, man. All right, and also in what we believe to know is true. Okay, but again, this just goes to show you the importance of having faith, man. In these times that we are, coming into, man, hey, we're gonna need faith, all right, in the times of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. But, nevertheless, the point has been made. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect of Israel. With that being said, I don't give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwakadash. That belongs to the elders and apostles of great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, listening on to this truth with heart sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwame Sharala, shalom.